So, hello children. So, welcome back to Fun Scholar Academy. So, today our lecture, we are in lecture number 2 of work and energy. In the previous lecture, we have known about what is work and what is force. Okay, and what is displacement. Today, we are going to know about energy. So, before I proceed with energy, I'm just going to show you a video so that you can revise what we have learned on the previous day. Okay, clear? So let's begin.
What do we know about the concept of work? Is there just one meaning for work? Let's find out. A boy has done certain activities like washing the dishes, writing a letter to someone, and brushing his teeth. Are the boy's following activities considered as work? If your answer is yes, then you are right and wrong. You are probably wondering how could you be right and wrong at the same time? Well, let's see why. You are right because the general concept of work could apply to any sort of activity that requires energy. But in the scientific perspective, it is relatively zero amount of work. So what is considered as work in the scientific perspective? Let's try out an example to understand this. An evil monster wants to destroy a city, but he doesn't go straight to the city to destroy it. Instead, he takes a huge boulder next to him, aims it at a specific direction, and throws it, destroying a part of the city. Is the activity done by the monster considered as work in scientific terms? If your answer is yes, then you are right. Granted, it was a bad kind of work, but it was work nonetheless. So, what were the fundamental aspects done to consider this as work? Why did I say that work's done here? There are two requirements that should be met for work to be done. One, force needs to be applied on the object. Two, the object needs to be displaced. If an object does not meet these two conditions together, then it isn't considered as work. When the monster threw the boulder at the city, he applied force on it and threw it in a specific direction and hence displaced it.
So remember now what is work. So let me just revise it once more. Work. To do work, you need to meet two conditions. What are they? First condition is displacement. What is displacement? Displacement is nothing but movement of one of movement of any object from one place to another, right? So what is work? To say work in scientific term, first it has to fulfill two conditions. First condition is displacement. What is displacement? That is, the object has to be moved from one place to another. And what is the second energy condition? Second condition is either you have to push the object or pull the object. Now, what is this push and pull, ma'am? This push and pull is nothing but in scientific term known as what? Force. Clear? So, if these two conditions are filled, that you are pushing or pulling something and you are displacing, that means you are moving an object from one place to another, is known as work. Clear? So to do any kind of work, we are applying some force, and to that apply some force we need what? We need energy, right? And where do we get energy from? We get energy from the food we eat, right? That is the reason we eat food. You have learned in your health and nutrition chapter that we need food. Why? Because we need energy. And why do we need energy? We need to do some work. And what is that work in your life? That is playing, that is swimming, that is studying, that is going to school, etc., etc., etc. Right? So we get energy from food. What about the machines? Have you thought how this AC, how this electric light, how this fan, even how this big computer is working? They are also doing some work, right? So how do they get energy? So today we are going to know about how many types of energies are there and which energy is used in what way in our everyday life. Okay, so let's begin with the chapter now. Okay, so first let us talk about ourselves. When you come from the school in a hot summer day, firstly what your mother does, she gives you water or sugar mixed in water or glucose mixed in water or nimbu pani or something like that. Whenever you come from outside, you just feel so exhausted, so tired. You don't feel anything like doing any kind of activity at that time. Okay, so what your mother does, she gives you some food, she gives you water, she gives you lemon juice, okay, and you take that and you know that instant energy is provided to you by carbohydrate. So food provides energy to us, okay, right? So after to do any kind of work, what do we need? What do we need? We need energy, right? To do any kind of work, we need energy. So what is energy then? Energy is what? Energy is the ability to do work. Energy is the ability to do work. Can we say that? Right? Because we need energy to do something. And so what is energy? Energy is basically nothing but something that is needed to do any kind of work. Clear? So it is the ability to do any work. Clear? I hope it is clear to you. And while I am teaching you, it is not possible for me to look at your comments. So extremely sorry. I have just seen that a few person are commenting this and that. So I am extremely sorry. So but later on I will reply to your comment. Okay. So now just you follow what I say and do what as I do. You will not face any problem. I can assure you that. First, just listen to what I say and try to learn from it, and redo watch the video if you have problem after you watch the whole video. I assure you will not have any problem after watching the video, but you do please listen to me. I understand every perspective, every point I touch, so that I know what can come to your mind when you think about this kind of things. Okay, but if I miss anything, I will see the comments later on and I will reply to you accordingly. Okay, clear? So let's move further. See, what did I see? What can you see over here? The boy is very happy. Why? because he is playing with the football. So what he is basically doing? He is kicking or pushing the football. That means he is applying some force, right? And what is the thing after happening? After he is applying the force, the ball is being displaced from one place to another, right? From here to here, suppose. So for that, what he is using? He is applying force, and what he is using? He is using energy. So energy is what? Energy, I have told you, energy is nothing but the ability to do any work. Clear from this picture? So please note down this point that energy is nothing but the ability to do any work. I hope push, pull, force, work, energy, every concept is crystal clear to you. Okay? I hope that. So please say yes if you agree. Now, I have told you this boy needs obviously what? Energy from food. Energy, this boy gets energy from food. Now, I have already told you, what about other things? This car also moves, right? So it runs on what? It runs on petrol, right? So it gets energy how? Burning of fuel. What is fuel? Fuel is coal or petroleum. Okay, it runs on petroleum and it gets energy from what? Burning of petroleum. You often have seen your father driving a car or scooter or bike or whatever it is. He has to go to the petrol pump time to time and has to fill his car or bike with petrol. Okay? And then the car runs on the burning of this petroleum. Once the fuel is exhausted, you cannot just move the car or bike or even scooter. And what in case of cycle? The cycle also needs what? It has to be pumped with air. The wheels, you have to do the paddle, right? You cannot move the cycle as a, you have to do paddling. So you yourself have to drive the cycle to move it from one place to another. Okay, so there the energy is, again you are applying force, you are applying energy, and that is why the cycle is moving. So let's read. Every organism, whether a microorganism, that is any microscopic organism like virus, bacteria and protozoa, virus, bacteria, fungi, etc. Okay, or a giant elephant. Everyone needs energy to do some work. Even a car needs energy to run, but unlike living beings which consume nutrients. So we eat nutrients to get energy, it needs fuel as a source of energy. Just now I have told you what is fuel. Fuel is nothing but coal and petroleum which helps the car in moving. Okay, and where do you find petroleum? That also I have told you. So you are now clear. You have at least seen or heard the word petrol, and you know that your car, bike, scooty, you have seen in your daily life that someone goes to the petrol pump to fill their vehicle with petrol, and then it runs with the help of this petrol, right? This is how car and other machine works. Okay. Now, see what is the picture showing here. The boy is waking up. It is the sun outside and time is 6:30. So obviously morning time he is waking up. So what is happening here? From morning first the alarm clock is ringing. Alarm ringing. Okay, so from here also the alarm is ringing. That means it is either being charged or it is somehow ringing with the help of battery. So it is getting energy from where? It is getting energy from battery or from charging. Nowadays this kind of clocks are replaced by mobile phone. Okay, so even the sun is also a source of energy. Okay, how? Because in photosynthesis can only happen in presence of sun. So this is what? This is the solar energy. You have learned about photosynthesis in your previous class, in class 4. So you know what is photosynthesis. So basically they are also you need energy, and where do the plants get energy from? They get energy from sun. So sun is our ultimate source of energy, right? Clear? So let's, so from morning when you wake up till you sleep, and even after you sleep, the cells, you keep on breathing while you sleep, so your cells keep on working, okay, 24 into 7. Your heart pumps 24 into 7. So they are also working, and for that they need energy. It is not like that while you are sleeping you do not need energy. While you are sleeping, your heart is pumping, you are breathing, so you are in need of oxygen, and from that oxygen energy is being built within the cells of your body. So that is why the heart is beating. That is why while sleeping you are growing also. That is why your all the living cells are alive when you are sleeping. So while you are sleeping till you wake up, even after you sleep, every time you are in need of energy. Clear? So, but the fan, the light, etc., when you turn it on, then only, just like here, when you turn it on, then only it lights up, but you can control the supply of energy here, but in your living cells you cannot control. Every organism needs energy from even before they are born till they die. Okay, clear? So that was an interesting story. So I have already told you, just look after he wake up, what is the first thing he is doing? He is taking his breakfast. Why? Because he has been sleeping for 8 to 10 hours, and at that time the stored food in his body, you know, fat is being stored in your body, so that when you are not provided with food, that food is being used for energy. But here also, after sleeping for 9 to 10 hours, the boy is hungry. The first thing you do after you wake up, you refresh yourself, then you go for breakfast. Why? You need energy from the food to go to school and do further works. So food rich in carbohydrates. Food rich in carbohydrates and fats. Why are they taken? Because they are the energy giving food. We all know, we have already learned that carbohydrates and fats provide energy. That is why he is eating bread toast, sandwich, cheese, and meat, whatever. You eat different types of thing because we all have our choice of food, but you need food for energy after you wake up in the morning. So do not skip breakfast ever. Okay, many of you go to school without taking breakfast, which is really bad. So why do we need energy? Okay, we need energy to perform any kind of activity in our daily life. I have told you this also. Let's read. The amount of energy we need depends on the activities we perform. For example, we need more energy for running than we need for walking. Obviously, while I am walking, then I will need comparatively less energy, but if I start running, I'll need more energy. Clear? This thing you know. So next, forms of energy. Now I have already told you that energy is of different types. Solar energy, I have already shown you in the picture. Then we get the energy from food we eat. So there are various types of energy. I have written a few examples, but other than this, there are other forms of energy also. Okay. So some important forms of energy I have given over here is heat energy, electrical energy, sound energy, and wind energy. Okay. So let's begin. First is given heat energy. Just see, just look at the picture first. What it is happening over here? It is burning, right? Woods are burned. So if something is burning, if you go close to it, obviously you feel hot, right? In the summer days, when you go out in the sun, you feel what? Hot. Okay? This is a electric heater. If you go near it, you will feel during winter very warm and hot, right? Which is good. Okay? In winter, if you go in the sun, you will feel good, warm. But in summer, if you go in the sun, you feel very, very hot and tired because at that time, more and more energy is burned. Okay? So what is this? These are something hot, right? These are something hot. So this hot kind of things, what kind of energy we are getting here after burning the woods? We are getting heat, and we can cook anything over heat or keep ourselves warm. In the cold countries, they burn the wood to keep themselves warm. Okay. And often in the olden times, the food was being cooked when gas was not there, then the food was being cooked with the help of these woods. Okay. So this here, the heat energy is being used to do different kinds of activities in our daily life. Just read now. Heat energy. We get heat energy from the sun, obviously. We get solar energy from the sun, right? We get heat energy from the sun. Both are right. Okay. The sun is the natural source of heat energy. This is very important. If the question comes, name a natural source of heat energy, then the answer will be sun. Again, if the question comes, what is the source of solar energy? Solar means sun itself. So over there, only sun is the, because we have only one sun, so we get solar energy from that particular sun only. But heat energy except sun we can get through burning of fire or from even using electrical gadgets. Okay, clear? We use this energy for cooking our food, drying our clothes. Obviously, you put your clothes in the sun to dry up. You cook food. I have already told you by burning. If not this, even the gas oven being used in your house. Okay. These are also what you do. You lit fire, right? Lit fire. So, and then you do what? You cook food. Okay. Even the car I have shown you and I have told you that burning of fuel or petrol is done. So see, running vehicles and machines are running because they are coal, petrol or gas are being burned as fuel. Then launching of rocket. You have seen how a rocket launch. Suppose this is a rocket. This much of heat energy comes out and pushes the rocket against our gravitational force. I have taught you gravitational force in my previous lecture. So now you know what is gravitational force. The force by which any substance tends to fall down. That is gravitational force. So from one thing, see, so many relatable things I have just taught you. See, such an interesting thing. That is why I like science. That is why you should know science. I'm not discouraging other subjects, but this is something which is very relatable to your daily life. Now again comes the sun. Again comes the sun. Light energy. What is light energy? See, you can see everything around me. You can see this board. You can see me because of light. Really? If I just turn everything off, what will happen? Just see what happens. See, once I switch off this light, everything around the room except the board turned dark, right? So we can see, suppose because of the presence of sun, we can see things at daytime. And in if you go to a forest where there is no other artificial light, you cannot see anything without light. So ultimately, our natural source of light will be what? Our natural source will be, okay, it is written over here. We get light energy from the sun again. So three types of energy we get from sun. Solar energy, heat energy, light energy. It is because of the sun's light which is reflected by the moon is visible to us. Okay? It is the natural source of light energy on earth. Again, if the question comes, what is the natural source of light energy? The answer will be sun. Okay? Now just see this picture. This bulb helps us to see things. So while we are in the sun, we can see everything. Laser light is used to see things. Torch during load shedding you use to see things. Plants use light energy for what? For photosynthesis. Okay, the street lights are given so that you can walk on the roads during the night time. Even our eyes, they capture the light. Okay, that is why image is formed in our brain and we can see things. Okay, if light energy or source of light cannot enter the eyes, just like the blind people, that is why they cannot see anything. Okay, we can see because our eyes can detect this light energy. Suppose even in my phone, see, if I just turn off the light, what can I do? I can see better view of this pen, right? So this is how light energy works. We get light energy from electric bulbs, candles, tube lights, etc. What is the function? It helps us to see everything around us. Okay? Even plants use light energy, you know, for making their food by a process called photosynthesis. Right? Clear? Done? Okay. Now, electrical energy. Light we have seen. So, light and electrical energy is somehow similar. How the artificial light we are using, the artificial light we are using is ultimately, we are using what? We are using electricity to generate that light energy. So electric energy is very much related to light energy. But what is the difference? We can use our electric energy not only to light things but use other gadgets. Okay? How? Like while using electrical energy, you use charge phone, run machines, turn on TV, AC, etc. Right? So let's learn. Electric energy or electricity is produced in hydroelectric power station or thermal power station and supplied to our houses. Right? If you do not pay the electric bill, what will happen? All your electric light will be cut. Okay, and then everything, nothing in the house will work. Not only the light, bulbs, even your washing machine, your kitchen chimney, then your grinding machine, nothing will work. Water pump machine, nothing is going to work. So that is the difference. Okay, electric energy, it can be used in the form of light energy and also to run other equipments. Okay, life has become impossible without electric energy. Just imagine, if we are having 1 hour load shedding, we feel disgusting. Okay, we cannot live without electricity. Even during daytime, nighttime, everything works on electricity. So we are fully dependent on electric energy to run any kind of equipments in our house. We use electric energy to light up our homes, run electrical equipment such as AC, washing machine, fan, etc. I have told you this thing. Now, what is thermal power station? What is hydroelectric power station? Hydro means water. Okay, hydro means water. So, hydroelectric power station means over here water is used. Water is used to produce electricity. Okay. And then what is thermal power station? Thermal means burning of coal. Coal is burned to produce electricity. Coal is burning of coal leads to the production of electricity in case of thermal power station, and hydro means water. So here water is used to produce electricity, and you will be surprised to know that till today 70% of electricity in India is being made by thermal power station. So just imagine how much coal they are burning every day to produce electricity and leads to creation of air pollution. Okay, so let me just show you how does it looks like. Okay, this just see electric energy examples: battery, toaster, vacuum, phone, lightning, even electric eel. There is an animal, it is a kind of fish which is used in, it can generate electricity. Okay, okay, if you go and touch it, you will just get current, just like the electric gadgets give you current. Okay, so electric eel, solar cell, wind turbine, everything runs on electricity. Okay. Just see, this is the thermal power station. Over here, coal is being used. See, the smoke is coming out. Over here, coal is being burned to produce electricity. Okay. Clear? Another is, okay, just see this. See, this is a dam. See, over there are connected so many turbines. Just see, just see, look at this picture. Just see, over here the water is used to produce electricity. Okay, the only difference that it is not harmful to the nature, and it can, over here water can be used again and again, but coal once burned they cannot be used again, so it will exhaust after a certain period of time. Clear? So let's go back to our slide. Okay, let's read this. Electricity is consumed on large scale in industries. Although currently we obtain electricity by using fuels such as coal or non-renewable source of energy, we are putting efforts into generating it from renewable source such as tidal and geothermal energy. Now, what is non-renewable source of energy and what is renewable source of energy? Okay, I will, it's present in your chapter, so we will read about it again in the slide, but still I am explaining it over here. Renew means, new means what? Something brand new. Okay, renew means you can use it again and again. Okay, renew means a thing that can be used again and again. Like just now I have told you that water we can use again and again, right? But coal is something I have told you that once the coal is being burned, you cannot use it again. So it will finish someday. Okay? So if renew means that can be used again and again, then renewable source means we can use these resources again and again. But then what will be non-renewable? Non-renewable means coal, petroleum. They will, once it is burned, it cannot be used further. So it has a limited resource. And not, maybe not today, but after 50 years, the way human are using this coal and petroleum, it will get exhaust one day, and that time only renewable resources can be used to produce electric energy or other forms of energy. That is the reason India is now putting effort in renewable sources, like some years back, even our trains used to run on coal and diesel. Okay, but nowadays the Indian railway system has um, transferred it into electric energy. Okay, so everything, just imagine when previously so many coals used to be used to run those railways. Okay, but now that coal is being used to produce electricity, and that electricity is used to run the trains. Okay, only steam engines are found in the hilly stations like Shimla, Darjeeling, etc., but rather than that, maximum trains in India now run by electricity. Okay, done. So I have given you so many extra information from one chapter. See, tidal energy generator. What is tide? Okay, you know high tide, low tide. Tide means when there is high tide, water comes in a very rush to the coastal areas. Okay, so what happens when the water is in very rush? That time these turbines are used to produce electricity. Clear? Okay. Another is geothermal power plant. What is geothermal? You have heard that there are hot springs which are very rich in minerals. So these hot springs are used to produce or generate electricity. Okay, so that is the source of geothermal power plant. Okay, in India, if you go to Badrinath, you can find hot spring over there, because I have been to there, so I can share. There are other places also, but for now I remember Badrinath only. So I've shared that with you currently. Now sound energy. I'm doing this. I'm clapping my hands. You can hear the sound. Okay. So this is also a form of energy. And because of the sound, we can talk. You can listen my voice because of what? Sound energy. Okay. But the surprising and most interesting factor of this energy is it needs a medium to transport. And air is that medium when you are talking in your surroundings. Okay, but if you go to space where there is no air, even if you shout at the top of your voice, the person standing next to you can hear nothing, literally nothing. You know, air is a matter you have learned in your chapter. So like water, air is also a medium which carries what? Gases or water vapors, and even the sound molecules are being carried through air. If no air, that means no sound. And what kind of sounds do we hear in daily life? Obviously, horns of traffic. There are so many melody songs. There are so many instruments which can be played because of this sound energy. Even the sound of nature, birds chirping, then lion roaring, everything. We talk, we hear so many varieties of songs, we hear so many varieties of speech. We hear everything because of what? Because of this sound energy. So let's read. Sound that we hear is also a form of energy. Okay, for this class, you just need to know this one. And further things you will know in higher classes. Sound energy is produced when objects such as drum, trumpets, flute vibrate. See, clapping of hand, phone ringing, thunder, even your footstep, school bell, car horn, musical instrument, everything are sound energy. This energy needs a medium. I have already told you this energy needs a medium such as air, water, wood, metal. Right? Suppose I am taking the bottle and I am doing this. See, it is producing a sound. See, I have a xylophone. If I use, it is creating a sound. Though I am not a good at playing this, but still it is producing a sound. Right? So what is this? This is nothing but sound energy. Again, I have this wheel. Just see, is producing a sound. So this is what? This is nothing but sound energy. Understood? Sound energy is produced by vibrating objects like drum traveling through air medium and makes the eardrum vibrate. This enables us to hear the sound. What happens when you are just When you are just producing a sound, that vibration goes to your ear and hits your eardrum. That is how sound is audible to you. Clear? Understood? Okay. Easy? I hope these things are now very easy for you. Okay, what is mechanical energy? The energy produced by an object due to its movement or position is known as mechanical energy. Okay, it will be better if I show you a picture. See, the windmill is working. Okay, when you are taking a bow and arrow and throwing it, that is mechanical energy. Even riding bicycle, the clock is working because of mechanical energy. Birds are flying because of the help of the wings, that is mechanical energy. Airplanes work because of mechanical energy. Seesaw works on mechanical energy. Even the cranes are working because of mechanical energy. So, what is it written here? The energy possessed by an object due to its movement or position. So, what is the bird doing? The bird is using its wings to fly. Okay, so the wind is helping the bird in moving the bird further in the air. So this is what this is nothing but mechanical energy. Okay, water falling from a dam possesses mechanical energy. This mechanical energy in water is used to run turbines and produce electric energy. See, a bird flying and a moving car also possesses mechanical energy. So, what is basically a mechanical energy? The energy possessed by an organism to work. That is its mechanical energy. Energy possessed by an object due to its movement or position is called mechanical energy. Clear now? I hope I have already made the thing clear to you. Solar energy, obviously very easy. I have told about this also previously. What is this? This is the sun, which is the source of solar energy. And how this is the largest and biggest form of energy, but we humans till now know only a bit to use this kind of energy. So how do we use this energy? We set solar panels, especially in the cold countries where everything is very costly. They put solar panels. Okay, so what happens with that panel? Electricity is being produced and the house appliances are run on that electricity. Okay, again solar cookers are used to cook food. Okay, no use of gas. So such a wonderful thing, but we do not use it still now, but it is highly recommendable. Then solar heaters are used during cold in the cold countries because of extreme cold. Whenever there is sun, they use the solar energy to keep themselves and their home hot, warm. Okay. So the energy that we get from the sun is called solar energy. Solar energy is needed to generate heat or electric energy which can be used to operate devices such as solar water heater, solar panel, solar cooker. Solar water heater uses the heat energy of the sun for heating water. Solar cooker uses the heat energy of the sun for cooking food. Solar panels made up of many solar cells convert light energy from the sun into electricity. These all things I have explained to you. See, this is the picture of a solar cooker and this is the solar panel formed of solar cell that is used to run all the appliances in the house. Right? and they are getting energy from the sun itself. Okay. Now, wind energy. In your matter chapter, you have already known that when is wind formed, what is the difference between air and wind? Air is constant, okay? But when air is flowing or moving, that is known as wind. So, when wind blows, these turbines, they are known as what? They are known as windmills. They are known as windmills. They are used to move when wind blows, these turbines also move, okay, along with the wind, okay, and produces electricity, okay. So this thing help to generate electricity. It is mainly found in foreign countries, okay. The moving air is called wind. The energy possessed by wind is called wind energy. Wind energy is converted to usable electric energy by windmills. This only I have told you. Clear? Okay. Let's move further. Okay. Renewable and non-renewable energy. I have already told you this also. Renew means that can be used again and again. Okay, and non-renewable means they have limit. So main source of energy in the earth is sun, water, wind. Right? Sun, water, wind, they are unlimited and they can be used again and again and again and again. So these sources of energy will last for long time, isn't it? Right? So these are all what? They are all renewable source of energies. Renewable source of energies are those energies that remain for a long time. They can be used again and again and it is non-polluting. So okay. Acha, wood is an example of renewable source of energy, but it is polluting in nature. Why? Because wood is found in nature and from one plant another plant will grow and you will get wood. But it cannot be fully called as renewable source because it creates pollution. Okay. Again, pollution is harmful to our earth. So we have to use such sources that are not harmful to the earth. That is, wind is not harmful, water is not harmful, tidal is not harmful, solar is not harmful, and they can be used again and again till infinite time. Solar energy is considered the ultimate source of renewable energy that will give us heat and light for many years. Yes. Right? Because without sun, there will be no earth also. Sources, you know now, biomass, which is producing pollution again, so we cannot consider this as fully renewable, but still it is there in your syllabus. But make sure that biomass we can utilize again and again, but it is harmful to nature. Apart from that, water, wind, geothermal, sun are the main source of renewable energy. Okay. These other examples I have already told you, tidal, geothermal, done. Now non-renewable. Okay, they are limited. Obviously, they are limited. They cannot be used more than once. Yes, they cannot be used more than one. They are mainly found in fossil fuels. Okay, and they are coal, natural gas, petrol. The energy from these sources is called non-renewable energy. Even nuclear energy, heat energy from burning coal, petrol and natural gases are examples of non-renewable because once you burn the coal, petrol, gas and even nuclear energy, you cannot use it again and again. Okay, so what is over here? You are getting a new terms, that is fossil fuel. What is fossil fuel? and petroleum are known as fossil fuels because they are formed from animals and plants buried millions of years ago. So what is this coal? This coal is of plant origin and this petroleum is of animal origin. Okay, which got buried millions and millions years ago. How, we do not know till now. Something happened in this earth that all the large huge trees, dinosaurs and other large animals, they all died together and they got buried with the time and were converted into either coal or petroleum, okay, that we are using as source of energy today. Okay, so that is why, since they were being buried under soil and formed in the rocks, that is why they are known as fossil fuels. Okay, because fossils are the remaining dead remains of plants and animals that are found in rocks, and these things are also be found in rocks, okay, because of the formation of fossils. So that is why these are known as fossil fuels. Clear? I think you have understood. This is such an interesting chapter. From one thing we can relate so many different types of things. Sources, obviously petrol, natural gas, coal and nuclear energy. See, these are all natural source of energy and non-renewable. They are all man-made or artificial. Okay? Difference, renewable can be easily replenished. Replenished means they will be finished after a certain period of time and they would not be finished. They will last for a, okay, they cannot be they cannot, we can use this again and again, but we cannot use this again and again. This will last forever, this won't last forever. Okay, they will last for a long time, but they are not, they have limited time. Okay, clear? Okay, nature takes millions of years to make sources of energy. If we keep using non-renewable source of energy carelessly, we will soon run out of them. Excessive use of fossil fuel causes air pollution, so we should use them wisely. This I have told you in our story of today somewhere, so we should use only natural sources of energy to make India or to make our world a better, provide them a better environment. And we humans are the only source of pollution because other animals, they do not produce or destroy any part of nature except us. They do not know what is fossil fuel, how to use fuel. Okay, they have a very simple life. They are dependent on each other. But we human, we are using everything for our greed and destroying our own Mother Earth. So we should use everything wisely. You are going to be the future, so you should learn to use things carefully. Okay? So that's it for today. I hope this chapter is now clear to you. So see you in the next session with a new chapter. Till then, keep learning, keep shining and keep growing, students. Bye.